In a brief stay with our station, Ambassador Fisseha Asgedom, representative of the government of Tigray, said nearly all African nations voting against the resolution to extend mandate of the International Commission of Human Rights experts on Ethiopia implies their indifference to basic human rights violations in Tigray.
Not only voting no, the African Union have looked the other way. Genocide is being committed against fellow Africans. The African Union and its commissioner have taken a lead in blessing this genocide. The old idea that the one who, I think it goes like the one who lives in a glass house shouldn't be first one to throw a stone or what have you. Every African country, especially these 13 countries that are a member of the Commission, feel one of these days they could also be accountable for human rights issues. You don't think these countries do care about human rights issues in Tigray. They don't even care about their own citizens' human rights. Therefore, we are not proud of what Africans are doing. When I speak to Western diplomats and we complain about their lack of reaction to what's happening, then they say, look what the Africans have. They could not even support you when we are presenting a draft resolution on our part. Therefore, it is a shame, but that is how African politics is.
Ambassador Fisseha stated his belief that despite efforts by the Ethiopian government, the Commission would call what is unfolding in Tigray by its name.
And therefore, we have now the extension of the mandate of the Commission for 1 year. And I have no doubt that at the conclusion of their term, they will unequivocally conclude that genocide has been committed in Tigray. We know the Ethiopian government will do everything for this not to happen, but it is beyond its control. Therefore, the extension to us is a huge step in as far as investigating genocide is concerned.
He also added that even though some positive changes are visible regarding the international community's response to the humanitarian catastrophe in Tigray, much more still needs to be done to avert the calamity in the region.
In the last few weeks and days, there have been some concrete, what I consider positive signals and steps by the members of the international community. So the international community is not doing as much as it should do in terms of humanitarian access. It cannot do enough. It hasn't done enough pressure for cessation of hostilities to be agreed upon. Why? Because they believe that the survival of Ari is a priority to them than the perishing of millions of people in Tigray.
The ambassador finally stated that the international community has to ensure justice and accountability.
And it's always post-genocide that the international community awakens and says never again. And therefore, those who committed genocide never survived. If they do, it was a matter of time. In the history of genocide, there has never been where a genocidal government has negotiated its way out of this crime with its victims. Abiy and Isaias know this. They have committed genocide. At the end of the day, they will be held accountable.